What is going on, you guys? AK40 Kevin here in the gamer heaven, and I am on the bluedesigns.com, which is the Blue website. If you haven't heard of Blue, they've been making microphones for ages. I mean, since the Civil War, honestly. They also make headphones and accessories, but microphones is predominantly what they're known for, and that is why I'm on their website, because Daddy is actually in the market for a new microphone. Not that there's anything wrong with this mic that's, glazing my lips right now, but I've had it for... I think I've had this mic for 6 or 7 years. Actually, probably longer than that, because I bought this mic when I was doing music, when I was, singing, making beats, rapping, all that bullshit. So I don't really do that anymore. I mean, I still got verses for days. I can glaze them like mayonnaise, but, I try not to be a lyrical miracle on stream as much as I possibly can, but... if somebody comments they want me to spit a verse or something like that, I'm not going to say no to a follower or subscriber. Also going to be playing a little interactive game where people start a verse or a sentence, and then I just basically continue it with a fucking combo wombo, basically. Anyway, got a little off topic there. Me apologies. Oh man, I feel like the peas are popping pretty hard because I don't have my pop filter on there. So when I say the peas, peppercorn, popcorn, it really pops, and not in a good way. All right, so we are on the Yeti website, the Blue website, and I want to look at their full lineup of microphones right now, so we can kind of see what's what and what would be good for gamers and what would be good for just podcasting or recording interviews, or music production or whatever. So anyway, the Snowball is their most inexpensive microphone, and the original Snowball was white like this. It's been around forever. I remember when I was still in California, it was like 8 years ago, and I was deep in the music scene and shit. These blue Snowballs were really big. People were mixing this with like certain effects in GarageBand before Auto-Tune was really like accessible, before we figured out how to jailbreak and pirate and get Auto-Tune for free. We were using pitch correction in GarageBand, Apple GarageBand, with Snowball microphones, and they sounded really good, really professional, really good. So they're inexpensive. They're shaped like a snowball, hence the name. And what makes these really nice is that they're relatively compact. They're super durable. You can drop them. You can bash them around. They come in a few different colors here. I've never seen the chrome. I've only seen black and white. That's really cool. That gives it a real vintage retro look, which is right up my alleyway. Yeah, but these are really just general USB plug and play, good quality condenser mics, and if that's what you want, something short, sweet, and to the point, I think the Snowball would be a good one for you. Was this chick throwing up gang signs or something? What the hell? That is the mic I'm actually looking at. But it's between that and something else, which we'll talk about in a minute. So there's a couple little tiny differences between the Snowball and the Ice, but the main one is that the Ice is only an omnidirectional or one-directional microphone, so the front of the microphone is basically, where you're going to get your sound from, or where you're going to get your input from. And then the regular Snowball, not Ice, has 3 different pickups. You can do Omni, so it's one direction. You can do Cardioid, which is picks up for the front, kind of like Omni, but it's a little more... What's the word? Cardioid sounds a little bit deeper than Omni. You get more of like the fullness of your voice. So if you have a deeper voice and you want to get that Morgan Freeman thing going on, Cardioid might be your thing. Now, and then there's also Cardioid with a minus 10 decibel pad. So to get rid of those pops, if you're trying to spit verses or something. And if you're podcasting, you're probably not going to be, popping pickles like a piper or anything like that. But when you say peas or specific words that have hard pronunciation in the beginning, then you can get a little poppy there, and you either need to get a pop filter or lower your decibels, and that has that built in, which is pretty cool. Now, moving on, the Yeti Pro is a gosh darn beast. The Yeti series in general is ridiculous. So you got your Yeti Pro, your Yeti Caster, your Yeti Nano, and your Yeti X. So what the heck are the differences? Well, I'm going to break it down right now. So first up, we'll just look at the original Yeti. Nothing special, not the John Boy, not the Tomahawk, just the regular Yeti. Comes in an assortment of colors here. Personally, I kind of like this bronzish gold if I'm going with some kind of a steampunk theme. If not, the traditional silver goes good with any system. White would go really good with my system, as I have a Stormtrooper theme build. This is not gloss. This is kind of a flat. And then you have, of course, blue and a nice little silver. That blue looks really good, actually. I'm not going to lie. It's gorgeous. It's kind of like a midnight blue. So anyway, the Yeti's main features here, first of all, it's the cheapest entry-level Yeti. Now, I've seen them on sale for much cheaper than $130, and keep in mind this is the newest generation. There's been many iterations and revisions, but this is the current Yeti for sale by Blue. Now, one of the cool things about this is that it has 4 different recording modes. You have cardioid, which is basically unidirectional, meaning one direction, not the band. So your little head's sitting right here, and that's your mic right there. Kind of looks like a thumbstick pad from a PSP or something, but it's not. So basically, your microphone is recording. It's absorbing sounds and converting them from analog to digital through the USB port and processing them through your audio card. Just on this one direction here. Then you have stereo mode, which is still recording pretty much you, but it's also to the left and to the right of you. So if you're holding a guitar or something like that, where there's going to be, little fret plucks and stuff like that. And then also on your left hand or right hand, depending on what hand you are, you're going to have the actual strumming noises, and then your mouth in the middle. You want to pick up all that. So stereo is great for that. Omnidirectional, or meaning all directions, is really good if you want to simulate kind of people being there and the ambiance of being in the situation. So, like a live concert, or if you're doing an interview with like 5 or 6 people sitting around a table or something, you're going to want to put it on omnidirectional because it's going to capture all your voices equally. Now, if it's just a one-on-one podcast or interview, bidirectional is a good way to go because it's recording you and the interviewee both equally. So a lot of good features in the entry model, but let's see what the big boys are packing, right? All right, so moving on to the Yeti Nano. This is actually cheaper than the classic, just standard Yeti, but it's obviously smaller, hence Nano. At $100, the price tag is also smaller, but it's missing a couple features. There's brighter colors on these, which is kind of nice if you're into that. I really love this gold. I think it looks really vintage, really retro, maybe even steampunk. So there are features that all of the Yeti mics are going to keep in common, and that is the fact that they have legendary blue broadcast sound quality. They have the same quality sound receivers in them, basically. The sample rates, I believe, are identical across all the models. There is no latency headphone output, meaning a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack right in the front of it with a mic mute. So that's really nice for you streamers, gamers, podcasters out there. And they're both plug and play with both Mac and PC. I don't really think that most serious gamers are playing on a Mac. I don't know anybody that really games on a Mac because they're just not meant for that at all. But and then finally, the Blue Sherpa is the software suite that they use to allow you to control their products or whatever. But the big difference with the Nano, for one, it's really small. It's not quite as durable, in my opinion. I've played with it. It just feels like the cord's a little more flimsy. The build quality of the frame, the stand's not quite as durable. And then also, you only have cardioid, or I don't know why they call it that. I've always heard unidirectional. I have a lot of experience in the music community. I've always heard unidirectional, but they call it cardioid, whatever. And then omni, so all directions. Pickup pattern, so you're not getting the stereo and the whatever the other one was on the other Yeti. But this is a little preview of their software control, the Sherpa. I don't know who named it that, but I guess it's like a Sherpa's warm and it's comforting to you, and that's what their software is. Decent marketing. Okay, moving on. The next one I want to take a gander at would be the Yeti caster over here, which looks just like a traditional Yeti, except it's hanging from basically a boom and hook here. So not playing games with you, that's exactly what it is. It is a regular Yeti, but you're adding 2 accessories to it. You have the Radius 3 shock mount, which this right here is a shock mount that keeps it to where if you bump the table and there's, vibration, if I hit this camera if I hit this microphone, it's going to cause a lot of distortion and irritation. A shock mount's going to help to absorb a lot of that vibration so it doesn't make its way into the actual cardioid or stereo input. Now, also, it comes with the Compass Premium Microphone Boom Arm. I don't really know if that's worth the extra price because you can get a boom arm with a shock mount for $15 or $20 on Amazon. Will it be the same quality as this blue? Will it be designed directly for this exact microphone so everything bolts up nice and easy? Probably not. This boom mic that I'm using right here, I think was 15 or 18 bucks on Amazon, and I did have to do a little bit of adjustment modification because it did not really like my condenser mic, and that's fine, but I was able to jerry rig it a little bit and it worked out just fine. So saving money and getting honey. All right, moving on. We've covered that. So we have not covered the Yeti X and the Yeti Pro. Now we're getting into the higher end stuff here. I want to cover the Yeti Pro first. I know it's more expensive, but the Yeti X is what most streamers, most serious gamers, and most podcasters are probably going to get just because of the specific set of features it has. So we'll look at the Yeti Pro real quick, but it has all 4 modes of recording. Obviously, this one has even less latency through the headphone jack, so if you're monitoring your instruments, and it also has higher audio resolution. And it comes with their breakout cable, which is their very nice cable, and it comes with the USB cable. So I actually did not know that. This one also does support USB, which is really cool. So, yeah, I mean, that's great. It's very versatile. You have the option of using a USB cable if you want to, but still, this is the Mac Dizatti here. This has got some sweet features. So first of all, these LED lights here go all the way around the knob here. You do have gain control right here. You can click that in, and that's going to mute it. And the ring turns red to let you know that your mic's muted, so you can mute on your stream on the fly. And also, these lights will let you know. They go green, then right around here, they start turning yellow to let you know, whoa, you're kind of, you're being a little bit noisy. Like, see the little video it's playing right there, the demo? And then when you start popping or peaking, it's going to hit red, saying okay, you need to, turn your gain down, move your mouth away from the mic, or use a pop filter. See right there, it's maxed out. It just looks really cool too. It's kind of a flat gunmetal gray. Just looks really cool, looks super durable, and it's specifically designed for creating and streaming. So that's kind of, what it's done for. It has that 4 capsule array in there, so no matter if you're doing an interview with someone or just streaming at night, or you're recording yourself playing guitar or something, it has some kind of a mode that will support your project, which is really cool. And I really like the high-res LED metering. So this little feature here, that I just think that's like a game changer. That's really cool to be able to monitor in real time your audio input and then adjust it with the gain knob. I think that's really cool. And then it also comes with voice broadcast vocal effects, which is really cool. So if you're doing streams and you want to slap on a robot voice or make yourself sound really high pitch or like a robot or something, you can do that with their software very quickly, very easily with their suite of broadcast vocal effects, and that's really nice. So looking back here at the whole plethora of blue microphones, the Snowball I would kind of pass because it's just so basic. It doesn't really have a lot of the features of the Yeti. You're only going to get, 1 recording mode with the Ice or 2 with the Snowball. All the Yetis have 4. Except for the Nano that has 2, but I mean, at least the Nano has the gain knob on it, different colors, that Yeti shape, which is actually supported by a lot more third-party accessories like boom mounts and shock mounts. I mean, the Yeti original's great. This is kind of one of the mics that I grew up with in the music scene and whatnot, and they're really nice. They sound amazing, but I would personally go with either the Yeti Pro, but you're talking some big bucks there. I feel like the best bang for buck and the most important to our community as gamers, vloggers, and influencers would be the Yeti X, because it has that LED ring around it, which is badass. It's not terribly expensive. It goes on sale constantly, and you can find them used on like Amazon and stuff like that. And I just think it has all the features that you would really need and kind of fits the bill for everything we're looking for. Now, keep in mind, the Yeti caster here is just a Yeti, but it has a shock mount and a boom arm. So you could get both these accessories and attach them to the Yeti X if you want to, or you could take the cheap route, get them through Amazon for like 18 or 20 bucks. You might have to do a little bit of modification, but probably not, because this boom arm that I got here from Amazon, which I'll also link in the description below, it came with an adapter specifically for blue Yetis and Snowballs. Actually, I don't think it supported Snowball, but it did have an adapter for all the blue Yeti models. So the mic I'm using here is not even that. It's an M-Audio USB mic I've had for like 7 years. M-Audio is not really supported by a whole lot of accessory companies out there, but that is neither here nor there. So, oh, I didn't even see that. The Snowball, just the regular Snowball's got some really bright, vibrant pastel colors. You've got like a tangerine orange and some kind of a lime green, and then a really sweet little bluesy. So yeah, guys, honestly, I would say the Yeti X is probably the way to go for our community if you can afford it. If not, I would go with the original Yeti over here. Just whatever color you can afford, whatever's on sale. You can always hydro dip it or paint it or whatever. It has all the features basically of the Yeti X, except for that you have gain control, but it doesn't have that little LED display, which I think is really pretty. It's a really nice little feature. Yeti Pro, unless you're doing professional music production, I'd probably steer clear of that. The Nano, I would steer clear of that too. I just feel like it's lacking features that all the other Yeti family has, and I don't really like tiny mics. I don't like massive mics either, but the Nano's really small. Like if you see it in person, it's really small. So, all right, guys, I know this video ran a little bit longer than I expected, but I wanted to educate everyone out there a little bit on the differences between all the blue mics and which ones are good for us gamers. Peace.